All right, folks. I know I promised your second video would be better, but I wanted to get this out before I left school for who knows how long. Anyway, this is your confidence interval hypothesis test, testing exam review. I've got the first four answers. First four questions have you do a confidence interval and a hypothesis test and kind of compare the answers. First off, this is p-hat proportion one. Obviously, it says population proportion. P-hat is 1,017 over 1949, 522. That is the formula for a blank percent confidence interval for p-hat. That's p-hat. That's 1 minus p-hat. That's n. Margin of error is 0.22. Add and subtract that to 522. Notice it does hit 50, but I mean, if you're rounding it, tend to go a little under. Anyway, really doesn't hit 50 exactly, and it stays above 50%. It says a majority of voters. That means above 50%. Majority means above 50. This is a right-tailed test. Alpha is 0.05. That means your rejection region will begin at 1.645. That is your formula for your test statistic. P naught would be the proposed P, which is 50. So 522 minus 500. And the square root there, 500, 500. Again, when I say 500, it's 0.500. Then divided by 1949. Up top, you get 022 divided by some number, 1.94. In the rejection region, you reject HO, the null hypothesis. So here it does show that it is above 50%. Here it does show basically, so it looks like this thing will be approved. Okay. Next one, same type of thing. Do a confidence interval and test the claim. First off, the Z-star for alpha for a 99% confidence interval would, right, 99% confidence interval, be 2.576. That's your X bar, Z-star, standard deviation, sample size. We get this. That's my margin of error. Add and subtract it to my sample mean. It is definitely below 35. Okay. It said we'll average at least 35 miles a gallon. At least is greater than or equal to. So we're going to do a left-tailed test. That would be the HA. All right. There's my formula. We've been working with this a while. All right. Sample mean, proposed mean, sample standard deviation, sample size. Anyway, we get negative 4.11, which is solidly in the rejection region. We reject HO, and we say that the mean is less than 35. The mean is less than 35. It's less than 35. It's definitely, no matter what you do, it's less than 35. All right, on this next one, from past data, company believes it averages at least, greater than or equal to, less than. My hypothesis test would be left-tailed. If alpha is 0.05, my rejection region begins there. This is how, again, I can do a Z distribution. I got a sample size of 60. So this is very similar to the last one we just did. All right. There we go. Add and subtract it to the sample mean. It falls below 150K. Barely. Perform my hypothesis test. Sample mean minus 150. The proposed mean, 150,000, that is. Sample standard deviation, a sample size, you get negative 2.11, so it falls into that rejection region. So you reject HO, both of them say you're definitely not averaging at least 150,000. Now, this one here, especially for the hypothesis test, isn't great. You kind of already know what you're going to get. And at least 80%. In at least 80% means greater than or equal to 0.800, so less than 0.800. Left-tailed test. But their p-hat was over 80%. So do the confidence interval. All right. Now, if we're going to say undoubtedly above 80%, we could say, well, it does go below. But if they're claiming 80%, they're allowed to say it because on the right side, it definitely is above 80%. So they are allowed to claim it with the confidence interval. And obviously, folks, if I'm doing a left-tailed test, in order to make any sort of rejection, I'd have to get a negative Z-score. Well, if my sample proportion is bigger than the proposed one, then it's undoubtedly going to have a positive Z-score. So I'm going to fail to reject it, i.e. say that their claim is okay. No matter how you do it, they are allowed to claim above 80%. All right, so for tomorrow, So do these. The next time you watch, which I'm going to make a video on Tuesday, I'm going to make it over 5. That one's quick. Over 6. Over 7. Then do it over 8. 9. And then 10. And then we'll make videos for after that. So your next goal is try to do 5 through 10 on your own. Your formula sheets, if you have it. Sorry about this. This is definitely bad video making. This last one that you had on your test, you probably got rid of it. But if you need to, here are the formulas. Pause it and copy it down. All right, this is the formula sheet I'm using. Formula sheet we will need to use. All right. And then this. All right, folks. Stay safe. Stay running until we're not allowed to go outside anymore. And stay working on this. Yak Math Video signing out.